Morning, guys. This is my first shot at vlogging as a dental student. I just want to show you guys what I go through in a week as a dental student. And today we actually start our second year of school, so I'm really excited, and I'm sad that the sun is like glaring on my face like that. But I just wanted to come and say good morning really quickly before I start my day. I just got to school. Today we have 5 classes. The first class is an orientation for our SimLab course. We are starting crowns this summer, and it'll be interesting to see what they have to say to us. For our first year, we didn't have our SimLab lectures in person, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. And then for the rest of the day, we have 4 biomed lectures. The first one is on our own, is asynchronous, and the last 3 will be in person or live online. So I will come back and let you guys know how those courses went for me. Good morning, guys. Just rude every time I'm doing something. But anyways, we are back with another day. I didn't get to finish out the vlog yesterday, but I'll just give you an update of the orientation that I was telling you about. So the orientation was for SimLab, and after my cat stops meowing, I'll show you guys her later. But basically they just told us that they wanted us to attend our lectures in person. Those lectures start at 7:30 a.m. Like I said, last semester, or actually the entire first year, we did not have to attend those classes in person. They were actually recorded videos, so I'm kind of happy that they want us to come in person and that they are making brand new lectures for us. Going in person is not bad for me because I went to my classes in person last semester. The only difference is making it there by 7:30. Last year I made it there by 9, so I just have to get up an hour early, but that's okay. But I need you guys to make sure I'm making it there every day at 7:30, because I know like the middle of the semester I start to get tired, but hopefully that's not the case this year. So I just wanted to give you guys that update. Also, they said they're going to be more strict on us about professionalism, so making sure we're coming to class every day with the right scrub colors, being on time, basically treating our typing out patient as our real patient, because next year we'll finally be in clinic. I'm so excited for that. But this morning is my first day of SimLab as a D2. We are starting our single crowns. I'm very excited about that. Even when I was a pre-dent, I always was excited for crowns. So I'll show you guys that setup. Hopefully we can't have our phones in SimLab really, but I'll try to make it there early to set up so you guys can see that process. And yeah, that's my morning. I ate breakfast and I'm about to pack my lunch really quick. And this is Eva, guys, the kitty that was meowing throughout my whole last clip. I don't think she's been on my channel yet, but yeah, this is my cat daughter. So say hi, Eva. She a little shy. I have to stop telling y'all what I'm gonna show y'all, because every time I say it, it never happens. So I didn't get to show y'all me in SimLab this week. I actually have to go back to finish something, so I'm not even gonna say maybe. I'm gonna show y'all. Y'all just have to wait and see. But I'm gonna vent to you guys about my day, because I actually was kind of irritated my first day back in SimLab, because I thought we was gonna be prepping today. I was so excited. My heart did drop a little bit because I thought I forgot my loops, and I personally don't like working without my loops. So yeah, I was excited. I thought we was gonna be prepping some things, but that didn't happen. So I had SimLab this morning, which started at 8:30, but that was a problem in itself, y'all. So we had a lecture at 7:30 a.m. from 8:20 a.m. and that was our sim lab lecture. As I stated before, they want us to attend in person, so that went over a little bit, maybe to like 8:25, and they want us in sim lab by 8:30. And they give us about 10 minutes to set up, but mind you, it's our first day back. We have to get new teeth and some burrs that they gave us. We had to have our models set out, basically all this stuff set out and ready to go. And then they started getting mad at us when we wasn't ready, when you went over on the lecture. So how can we get out of lecture, put our stuff away that we need, get our stuff that we need, and set that up and be ready and all set to go? And then they want to have an attitude with us. It was just too much, especially for the first day back. For one, we had a lot to do in this lab, and they were just rushing us. I did fall behind a little bit because for our reduction stint that we had to make for number 8, I had to make it about 3 times, maybe 4, because the first 2 or 3 times it was too thin. So I did fall behind a little bit. I got to make my custom tray, but I do have to go back to fabricate my model. I think that's what I have to do. But yeah. I'm sorry, I just had to vent to y'all because that was so annoying. But so it's kind of a long day, but the plus side to it, I was supposed to have radiology lab afterwards, and I think that's a 3-hour lab, but luckily we didn't have it. So I got a lot of studying in today, so that was another plus. But I definitely came home and relaxed after sim lab because it was just, I really don't know what they want from us. But hopefully the rest of the semester in lab is better than it was today. It wasn't too bad. Another thing that I did today in lab, so first we made a stent for 14, and then that's when we made the reduction guide for 8. And they gave us a scalpel to cut the stent or whatever. But like I was rushing at the end to finish everything, but I did not cut my reduction guide for 8. Y'all, why was I cutting this with a freaking buffalo knife? And when I was cutting it, I was like, why is it not cutting? But then I just left. So at the end of my days, I usually reflect on, you know, what was my highlight for today and what could I improve on. So I was just thinking about it, and I was sitting here like, why was it not cutting? Like, was it too hard? I don't know. But then I realized that I was using a buffalo knife and not a scalpel, and I just thought that was so funny. So what are some things that you guys done in sim lab or any other lab where you think back at the end of the day like, oh, I didn't even use the right instrument, that's why I was having a hard time? But I thought that was funny and I had to share it with you guys. Guys, this is my first classmate you get to meet on my channel. This is Alicia.
Hi.
She's shy, guys, but
I'm gonna be like a mom.
But remember when I said I had to fabricate something? I was talking about the vacuum model. So that's what I'm in here doing now. But it's like these little things in the grooves that I have to get out. They're like bubbles. That's what they call it, bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see, but yeah, I need to get those out, so I'm using my buffalo. Another thing that I wanted to share with y'all is this morning we had our second sim lab lecture in person, and this time it was a really good lecture. We didn't have to rush to sim lab afterwards. For the summer we have sim, like the actual lab, on Mondays and Wednesdays, so Tuesdays and Thursdays we don't have lab after. But our professor was so happy about these animations that he made in this lecture.
He was. He's so proud of himself.
So proud. And they be really nice lectures. I do like them, but he's a great professor for sure.
If only he could teach all the classes.
I know.
And sim lab.
Yes. That's who taught us composites. I feel like if he didn't show us how to do composites, we would have been a hot mess all summer.
That's so true.
Because for me, it's a big difference between amalgam and composites. Just the technique and layering with composite. Amalgam, you can just put the whole thing in there and carve it. I like carving. Composites, I learned how to do them over time. Were they my favorite? No.
Yeah, first it was a learning curve.
Yeah.
Because you got to have a lot of patience when you using the composite. And you got more longer working time. So,
yeah.
You could go on for hours and hours and hours.
The only thing with composite is if you forget to turn your light off and switch to your orange light, it will start to harden. It's happened to me a few times where I just be like, why is this hardening? Then I noticed that I never turned the white light off. Or sometimes I forgot to bond. So I remember one time in lab, I was working on a project and I finished the whole entire thing and it just came off because I forgot to bond.
Oh, yeah. That's happened to me, too.
Yeah. And my faculty was right there. I was like, I'm ready to get graded. And I'm still messing with it, and it just popped off. And I just hurried up and put some composite in there so I could get my grade. This is my first dental school vlog as a second year. And I just wanted to give you guys some feedback on my first year since I didn't really document that and let you know how my experience was. I feel like the biggest thing that I have to say for myself is when I was a pre-dent and I would go to all these pre-dental programs or just any program that I did do, one thing that I noticed a lot of dental students saying is like, oh, dental school is so much work. It's like so much information coming to you. What is it, like drinking out of a fire hose? Something like that.
The main saying I would hear is like, it's a marathon, not a race or something. That's the main thing I heard. But
that I think that was referring to like how much information we get in a period of time and like how fast it is. But how I interpreted it at first is I thought it was gonna be like, oh, it's all work and no play. So I was a little nervous about that, but when I got here and I got at the beginning, yes, it does take time getting used to it, but yeah, but when you get your schedule together and you figure out, okay, this is how you study for this, you find time, and you have to find time for yourself. So that was one thing. Like, yes, it's a lot of work, but to me, I took it as I would just be doing school. And a lot of the time, you are doing school, but on certain weeks, I do make time to spend time with my friends.
I'm a non-traditional student with a family, so I have a little toddler. So for me, it was about balancing academics and balancing family. And I was just petrified the first week. Like, am I going to be able to do this? But after talking to like other students that attend here and other students that attend other dental schools with families, and people just being like 100% honest with you, I made a schedule and I was very disciplined with my schedule. For me, the biggest adjustment, like not being in school or taking a full, like a full-time schedule on top of what we was taking 28 credit hours or something, 24.
Yeah, the first semester I think it was 22.5. Second was 24.
Okay, so yes, taking 22.5 credit hours. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So I made a schedule, stuck to it, But of course, the most thing that intimidated me was the science courses. My colleagues hear me say that all the time because that's not my strength. That's not my background. So I felt like I had to work really, really hard to move on to the next semester. But using my resources, tutoring, that's my friend. Tutoring and utilizing the office hours definitely what got me through. I think first semester everybody was trying to fill each other out like far as study buddies or study groups. So, but our class, I could commend our class like on the Discord and group me. Everybody was very helpful. They shared their notes. Our president was keeping us up every week. Some days I didn't even know what time I was going to sim lab.
I'm going to speak for Detroit Mercy. We do not have a competitive class of 2025. No. I can't speak for any other class here. I don't know. We don't have a competitive class. Oh, another thing is make sure you get close with upperclassmen. Preferably for me the year above you because they just went through what you're going through now. It's also to be close with other upperclassmen that's like D3s D4s as well, just so you can see what they say about clinic. Although you have some time to go if you're a D1 or D2, but it's still nice to ask those questions to be prepared.
Network with your colleagues, whether they're in your class or upperclassmen. Network with faculty administration. Have somebody in faculty you can go to. Have somebody in administration your go-to person. Because when in doubt, you may need them one day. When in doubt, they may need you one day.
School can be mentally draining at times. I know for me, this is a transparent moment for me, but the second semester, we started doing different restorations with composites, and it already took me a minute to get familiar with composites. So I started to doubt myself, and I would say that I'm a perfectionist. I'm trying to grow out of it because I would come to sim lab, we would be doing something for the first time, and I would think that I'm supposed to get it perfect the first time. And that's not the case. So just come in with an open mindset, be ready to learn. I used to really beat myself up. Like, I would be in sim lab and I would go cry. I would tell Alicia, like, girl, yes, I left sim lab. I went to the bathroom and cried. So I'm very sensitive. So I will cry in a heartbeat, but I try not to in lab. I will excuse myself. And I think actually one of my faculty members here was in the bathroom today. I was crying. It was just a coincidence. And she asked me what's going on, and I told her, and she told me a quote. It was a Michelangelo quote, because I do come in about every weekend to practice. And that was another thing. I used to beat myself up like, I come in every week to practice. And I know there's some people who don't even practice. They just get it the first time. But that's just them and it's not me. And I just thought like, I'm not good enough just because I'm coming to practice. But in reality, I am good enough because I'm putting out time to practice. And the quote was like, if only people knew how much I practice, then they wouldn't think my work was so great. It's not to say that your work isn't great because you practice, but everybody knows him as being like a great painter, but they don't understand how much practice went into how much practice and time went into that great artwork that he produced. So when I do get into clinic and I'm just catching on like that, it's because I practiced and I worked for it. So if you are somebody who don't catch procedures quickly, that's fine as long as you practice. And after I practiced for a while, I feel very confident and ready to go. Like, it was the class 4s. But now it's like, okay, if somebody told me to do a class 4, I'm gonna do it. And I was also freehanding it too. So that was another. I could have. You could use a stent, but I was like, okay, in private practice or wherever I choose to work, and they come in with a fractured tooth, I'm not going to have a standard tooth. So I might as well learn and make the mistakes here in school instead of out with my license, and then I'm getting sued for malpractice or something. But make mistakes. Don't be perfect. Make mistakes.
That's the only way you learn, when you make mistakes.
Yes.
But I do like Ariana's. I complimented her at the beginning of the year. Like, I love your work ethic. Like, Ariana was in this thing.
Yeah.
In this thing. Like, she would be here midweek or on the weekends.
It would be sometimes on the weekends. I'll be the first ones here. Like, But I do also tell Alicia how proud I am of her, because she's doing this with a family. So anybody that's doing it with a family and you just start second guessing or doubting yourself, just remember you are doing it with a family. It's so many people here that's not, and y'all are getting through with a family. So give yourself grace.
Yes, give yourself some grace, because dental school is a beast. But again, stay disciplined, make a schedule, commit to the schedule, prioritize yourself, but still have some free time and make time for yourself, whether it's just go simple to get ice cream, treat yourself to a nice dinner, or like some of our colleagues, you know, go all out. For the weekend or that day. But definitely, you know, still, as my mentor told me, one of them, I had so many, he's like, even if you do feel like you got a little bit of free time, you know, still take time to review some notes, whether it's for an hour or 2 hours, and you know you got an eventful day coming up, or you looking forward to an event, you still want to review and still just kind of get that repetition in, because it is definitely repetition to retain this information. And don't look at it as, oh, I just need to learn it to pass the test. This is your livelihood. So you do need to know your patients will ask you some off-the-wall questions that you're not prepared for, but you should be, because you studied, you put that time in, and you were diligent, and you were passionate about your profession.
Yeah, and another thing I want to throw out there before we move on to these, Alicia is a hygienist. So if anybody is watching that is a hygienist and thinking about dental school, just reach out to me if you have questions, and I will send them to her.
Yes, RDH for life, even after becoming a dentist.
Yes. This is my custom model, guys. I like how it came out. I just have to reduce some of this, so I'm gonna just do that with my acrylic burr.
You know, it's Dr. James. Just finished class, you know what I'm saying? About to do this root canal.
No. Y'all, we was the only ones that came to class today in Alicia. So, yeah, they can see you.
Yep, y'all see this melanin up in here. Y'all never melanin up in here in class.
Yeah, it's literally nobody
The early
else.
birds eat the words.
Look, Brandon's about to leave me. Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. First year at dental school.
The first vlog. It's not the first year at dental school.
Hell no, I'm going.
This is my... Oh, he want to go to dental school, guys. I know, that's the only thing.
What you got to say to the dentistry community, man?
Yo, man, I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. Look, y'all stay in school. Y'all keep going. Y'all, what you got to tell them?
Right.
What you got to tell the dentistry community?
I already gave them a little motivational speech. Don't listen to them. You can do it. It's rough, but
It's hard.
we here.
Look, if you don't lock in now, the world is going to eat you alive. You really got to lock in and become the best dentist in the world. Tell them, Zay. Tell them how they got to be the best dentist.
Man, you just gotta work. That's all it is.
Ain't you? You going to be the best dentist in the world, right?
We all gonna be the best.